Hi, my name's Amber Baldett, and I'm co-founder and CEO of Clovyr. So Clovyr is helping bring modern application development to blockchain applications, not just within the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance, but for public blockchain applications as well. Right now, we're building across eea-eth, but also Polkadot and Parity and Quorum, and in the future, other clients that, that people want to use. Whereas right now, a lot of people are building apps as though it's the 90s and you need to have 200,000 lines of cold fusion to run an e-commerce site. We're kind of looking at the transition into something that looks like Heroku plus Ruby on Rails, where modern DevOps steps in and things become easier to integrate and deploy and manage. Right now, there's a huge gap between the underlying ledger, which feels a lot like a shared spreadsheet between organizations, and these kind of finalized applications that really do meaningful things and solve business problems. And in the middle, there's a whole layer of services that connect things that just don't really exist yet. Clovyr is working with enterprises and building enterprise-grade technology, but we're not necessarily exclusively building enterprise software. And that means that the software that we're building helps you build robust, scalable, manageable applications. But it's actually delightful to use, and it's also useful if you have a hobby project or a small business or a startup that maybe is starting very small and deploying to public chain, but might grow into becoming a next-generation type enterprise tomorrow. I really don't think that the public chain, permission chain debate has been fair. A lot of times people equate permission chains with enterprises and centralization, and it's therefore bad. And they think that public chains are somehow magically decentralized because they're open. But really, we should be drawing network boundaries around information that needs to be secured together and around participants that want to interact with each other. So just like the internet is a network of networks, it would make a lot more sense to have an internet of value that's many different types of networks connected together, hopefully without us putting all of our personal information on shared public blockchains. I think that this distributed ledger infrastructure, it's a massive spectrum. You can go anywhere from a distributed database out to a public blockchain, and there are solutions that fall all along that spectrum. So within EEA, you can look at some of the different implementations and see different kind of features emerge, whether it's across Quorum or across Pegasus or what Clearmatics is working on with Photon. They're all slightly different, and that's because different groups of people are coming together to solve what they see as their business problems, and there's no one right way to do it. In the same way that we don't really fight right now about there only being one right way to deploy a database. A lot of enterprise blockchain pilots for the last couple of years have been focusing on solving a very specific business use case, whether that's derivative settlement for post-trade transactions or transferring healthcare records between different doctors. But going forward, I think it's probably going to get more agnostic. We're going to look at just sharing data across trust boundaries. And what we've been doing for the last 10 years is creating data lakes, bringing everything together into these big centralized pools. And we're starting to realize that that is causing a lot of technical risk issues, as well as potentially human rights abuse issues as surveillance increases. So possibly we could see blockchain technology used not to unbundle that data, but as a way to facilitate unbundling that data, but still letting people reach out and derive the same kind of business value that they get now if it was all in one centralized place.